Challenge on the stand side by Bucanero Fuerte as they get close together inside the final 200 yards, and it's Bucanero Fuerte on the stand side edging to the front in the final half furlong and is drawing away to open the flat season for Kevin Stott and Adrian Murray. One taking lead, Bucanero Fuerte from Stirling. Badly across the track is Lovia, has gone right over to the far side. More to the stand side, it's Brighter and Vanity Pays in front of Valley Pally. Byzantine Empress is running on, and these have left behind Mount Whitney, spaced right across the track as they run up towards the finish. Brighter and Vanity Pays as they go towards the line. Brighter, Vanity Pays, and Love. Prince XJ, it's Sturlason. Challenge on the stand side by Bucanero Fuerte as they get close together inside the final 200 yards, and it's Bucanero Fuerte on the stand side edging to the front in the final half furlong and is drawing away to open the flat season for Kevin Stott and Adrian Murray. One taking lead, Bucanero Fuerte from Sturlason. Badly across the track is Lovia, has gone right over to the far side. More to the stand side, it's Brighter and Vanity Pays in front of Valley Pally. Byzantine Empress is running on, and these have left behind Mount Whitney, spaced right across the track as they run up towards the finish. Brighter and Vanity Pays as they go towards the line. Brighter, Vanity Pays, and Love. Prince XJ, it's Sturlason. Challenge on the stand side by Bucanero Fuerte as they get close together inside the final 200 yards, and it's Bucanero Fuerte on the stand side edging to the front in the final half furlong and is drawing away to open the flat season for Kevin Stott and Adrian Murray. One taking lead, Bucanero Fuerte from Stirling. Badly across the track is Lovia, has gone right over to the far side. More to the stand side, it's Brighter and Vanity Pays in front of Valley Pally. Byzantine Empress is running on, and these have left behind Mount Whitney, spaced right across the track as they run up towards the finish. Brighter and Vanity Pays as they go towards the line. Brighter, Vanity Pays, and Love. Prince XJ, it's Sturlason. Challenge on the stand side by Bucanero Fuerte as they get close together inside the final 200 yards, and it's Bucanero Fuerte on the stand side edging to the front in the final half furlong and is drawing away to open the flat season for Kevin Stott and Adrian Murray. One taking lead, Bucanero Fuerte from Stirling. Badly across the track is Lovia, has gone right over to the far side. More to the stand side, it's Brighter and Vanity Pays in front of Valley Pally. Byzantine Empress is running on, and these have left behind Mount Whitney, spaced right across the track as they run up towards the finish. Brighter and Vanity Pays as they go towards the line. Brighter, Vanity Pays, and Love. Prince XJ, it's Sturlason. Challenge on the stand side by Bucanero Fuerte as they get close together inside the final 200 yards, and it's Bucanero Fuerte on the stand side edging to the front in the final half furlong and is drawing away to open the flat season for Kevin Stott and Adrian Murray. One taking lead, Bucanero Fuerte from Stirling. Badly across the track is Lovia, has gone right over to the far side. More to the stand side, it's Brighter and Vanity Pays in front of Valley Pally. Byzantine Empress is running on, and these have left behind Mount Whitney, spaced right across the track as they run up towards the finish. Brighter and Vanity Pays as they go towards the line. Brighter, Vanity Pays, and Love.
His Majesty, and I know on the app I'm looking at, Unquestionable has gone into favouritism. There's 7, Blame the Champagne. Shane Foley rides for Jessica Harrington by Bungle in the Jungle.
Did show a bit of promise first time out. That one is the outsider of the field today at 20-1, Blame the Champagne, but presumably connections hold her in a bit of regard to picturing at listed level here when she's still a maiden on just her second start.
I watched that Cork race twice this morning. I went back to look at Blame the Champagne, and I still ended up my eye drawn to the winner, Noche Magica. It was that impressive.
As I say, Blackbeard did win this last year for Ballydoyle, but he'd had a run. He won a maiden at Dundalk around about a month previous. These two colts both making the racecourse debut today. I'm not sure whether in an ideal world they would have had a run before now or not. Here's the latest state of play. An unquestionable favourite at 2-1. His Majesty at 9-4. Stirlison at 16-5, holding up pretty well in the market. Valiant Force edged out to 8-1, is back into 7s now. And then we've got Lovia into 14 from 20. That's an interesting move. Blame the Champagne, the outsider, at 20-1. Also shortening up. So that's the latest state of play as far as the betting is concerned. Unquestionable just now into 15-8. Presumably Ruby Stirlison is going to try and put that experience to good use here. Was ridden forward obviously in the Cork race last time, and
yeah, you would have thought so, Gary, but that'll give the two newcomers something to aim at too. So and Unquestionable is hardening the whole time, Gary, into 15-8 now. Wayne Lorden's mount in the colours of Al Shikab Racing, Coolmore and Westerberg. It definitely seems to be a choice here. The punters anyway, but as you said, Stirlison, you'd imagine with the 2 runs, fitness, experience, everything else that goes with it, that Declan McDonough will be trying to put that to good use. But he did get well pegged back the last day.
yeah, the winner did look pretty smart that day. Noche Magica. There is Stirlison in the foreground. He's drawn in stall 5 today. A couple of the horses drawn higher than him are non-runners now, so it's puts him a little bit closer to the rail if the trailblazing tactics are going to be adopted again.
Small field, it's hardly going to be a bias anywhere, but Gavin Ryan did go the other side to win our opening race, so, and made up plenty of ground. There didn't seem to be any difference whether you were left or right on the track.
The configuration today there, quite a fair bit away from the stand side. As you can see, Declan McDonough happily has managed to get away there, but Stirlison getting really wound up in the stalls.
He's out. Hopefully he's okay. He looks to be walking away the finest. Adrian McGoldrick standing with Declan McDonough. God, the stall handlers are great. See how quickly they got Declan out over the back of the stalls.
Wasn't there in Cork when he ran last time. I don't remember him misbehaving for his debut here, though, Stirlison.
No, that saddle is slip, but I would have thought after an incident like that.
Might be a big doubt about him running.
I'd say there is.
Yeah.
It's going to have to be resaddled, at least.
And they are loading up the other horses, so that might well suggest that we're going to be going without Stirlison here.
Reading between the lines.
Which would be a shame. There goes Lovia into stall 3. The 2 Ballydoyle colts are in, so too is Blame the Champagne. Valiant Force being brought up, and it does look as though Stirlison is not going to be with them here. Let's join Jerry Hannon.
They're off, going without for Stirlison. In this, the second race, the Gain First Flower 2-year-old stakes. It's a listed race over 5 furlongs, and it's Lovia showing good early speed alongside his Valiant Force, followed by Blame the Champagne at the back of the field. The stable companions, His Majesty and Unquestionable. Continuing on, they're going pretty fast, heading for the halfway stage, and it is Lovia, the narrow leader from Valiant Force, a length in front. Over 3 are contesting the 3rd place. His Majesty, Blame the Champagne and Unquestionable. Coming towards the final couple of furlongs, and it's Lovia with His Majesty pushed up over on the far side in the purple and white, Valiant Force in the centre, and then Unquestionable and Blame the Champagne as they race to the final furlong and a half, and it's Valiant Force and Unquestionable coming to challenge on the stand side. Then Lovia, His Majesty next, and then Blame the Champagne inside the final furlong, and it's Valiant Force, the leader, from His Majesty, Unquestionable going in between them, and then Lovia, who weakens out of Blame the Champagne up towards the finish, and it is His Majesty doing best, going to the line to run down Valiant Force. Unquestionable in 3rd. His Majesty wins the Gain First Flower 2-year-old in debut.
Very interesting race to watch, and His Majesty has got on top close home to overhaul Valiant Force, who looked as though he might have done enough at one stage, but just started to paddle inside that last half furlong. And His Majesty, in the end, is our winner. They all raced away.
Thank you very much, Alex. And you saw in the pictures that heavy rain shower that started around about 15 minutes ago. It has continued here, so they definitely weren't worried about the ground getting too quick here at Kempton this afternoon. And it's still raining now, but the runners headed down to the start. Nick Henderson, Dave, has such a good record at Kempton. Isla's Demu has to be respected, but he was 13 lengths given a penalty away behind Classic Anthem, our second favourite, in a bumper here last time.
Yes, indeed. Was well found by the market at Newbury first time out. That was in November. Then there was a bit of an absence before that 6 over course and distance. Sorry, well, here at 2 miles in a bumper, sorry, in which Classic Anthem was ahead that day. £7 penalty, Ilas Demu carried. Hurdle's debut here, and we were saying on Racing TV Extra just obviously that the Henderson team win races like this in their sleep, but it's a fact that Classic Anthem was ahead of him last time.
One that is weak in the market is the flat racer, Father of Jazz, who was 104 at his peak in that spear, 3 from 5 on new weather, but 0 from 6 on turf. A promising start to his career at the Skeltons. Disappointing the last twice. Now is trained by James Owen, who's also got 2 friendly. He was 3rd here last week.
Yeah, it's interesting this, that I wonder to what extent Father of Jazz's jumps career is going to replicate what he did on the flat. He looked really promising. He was favourite for the Winter Derby and actually finished 3rd in that race in 2021. It was a promising start for Dan Skelton, but he didn't match that form in 2 subsequent starts, and it'll be interesting to see how he fares here.
All coming into line. Let's join our commentator Ian Bartlett for the opener here at Kempton.
Thanks, James. Hi, everybody, from a dry commentary box at Kempton Park. And coming forward then towards the start, home turn is where they begin here. 2 miles the trip. And laid on still 15 to 8 for Ilas Demu. They're off, racing for the opener. They begin running into 2 flights of hurdles down the home straight. Favourite, Ilas Demu on the left, red and white jacket, black and white cap is the leader in the early part of the race. Close to him, Patriotic on the right, one of the 6 hurdling debutantes, yellow and blue colours, and Do Hallo Tommy. Maroon and yellow colours is between those as they come to number 1, where Father of Jazz was the back marker. Best turned out when a State of Bliss, 1 from the left, red sleeves and dark blue is prominent, and up there as well in yellow is Classic Anthem as they get to number 2. And they're all over that. He's El Chico, Father of Jazz, the last couple of runners. They race then to the winning post. 1 circuit to go. Patriotic, who's swapped from flat racing to jump racing. Quite got the memo about that. He's pretty keen in front and sets them a good pace as they swing right-handed away towards the far side. There'll be about 20 lengths or so already first to last here. Do Hallo Tommy, maroon and yellow colours, is running in second. Ilas Demu, a red jacket, black and white on the cap, is close up in 3rd. In yellow, Classic Anthem, and with red sleeves, State of Bliss the next pair. The straw jacket, Satono Japan, is with Moonshine Spirit, red with white sleeves and white cap. It's wide on the course as they move to number 3. Armadar in all blue is next as they jump over the 3rd, where Do Hallo Tommy was the leader. Went on there from Patriotic. At the back we've got Hazel Chico, Armadar, Royal Max and also Father of Jazz. Have taken 4. Patriotic dropped from 1st place into 5th down the side of the course, and so now Do Hallo Tommy and Kevin Brogan lead him into the back straight, turning right-handed on towards the halfway stage. Ilas Demu, Nico de Boinville 2nd place. State of Bliss, Jack Quinlan, red sleeves. around the inside of Stan Shepherd, a yellow jacket on Classic Anthem. They're in third and fourth places together as they level up down the back straight and on now to number 5. Moonshine Spirit, Liam Harrison, red jacket, white sleeves, is next and is then followed by Father of Jazz. A white cap on a yellow jacket, Aidan Colm, has moved past half the field to go into 6th position as they jump over that. On the right is Jamie Moron. He's a Chico, patriotic yellow and blue jacket. I think he's going to be pulled up by Niall Houlihan at the rear of the field. Armadar, Philip Armson's towards the back as well, with Royal, Max and Daryl Jacobs. So 3 to jump from here. Juhalo Tommy from ELS Damu and Classic Anthem, the leading trio. Still making headway. Father of Jazz has taken 4th on the inside of State of Bliss, and with these is Moonshine Spirit. Satono Japan and Royal Max are the next pair of runners as they leave the back straight. He's a Chico behind this, and then Armadar is out of contention as they come round to the home straight. 2 to jump from here. And the red jacket, Ialeus Damu's just about got into the lead. Over to Hello Tommy against the rail in second place. On the right is Classic Anthem. A white cap of Father of Jazz is still stalking this trio. State of Bliss is behind those. On the right then is Moonshine Spirit as they head now to the second last flight of hurdles. Classic Anthem in the yellow joins, and Ialeus Damu, the favourite, slips on landing there and drops out of contention, and Father of Jazz is the danger to Classic Anthem, and he's got to him. Father of Jazz nearest to us with the white cap. Classic Anthem, the yellow jacket, the far side, the pair battling this out now, and it's just Father of Jazz. Aidan Coleman brought in from the back of the field, past them all, about a length and a half, pulling on by 2 now. Father of Jazz is the winner. Classic Anthem in second, State of Bliss in third place, and Hello Tommy behind those in fourth.
Father of Jazz wins on the debut for the James Owen stable. For the Gredley family under Aidan Coleman, given a very patient
Yes, and you've got to think that Oliver Sherwood's found a very nice introduction point for Queen's Gamble's beginning to her hurdling career. She is the star quality on show here at Warwick. She was one time high up on the list for the champion bumper at Cheltenham, which she did contest in. And although she might have underperformed slightly in that race, there had a lot of rain that day, and she was up against the boys and obviously a big field of Irish bumper horses who all came to the fore. And she did, before that, show to be a very high-class mare. She won the listed mares bumper at Cheltenham last November, and she also bumped into a very good one in Dysart Ennis at Market Raisin, who confirmed that promise when bolting up at Aintree for Fergal O'Brien. And she possesses just a huge amount of potential now switched to hurdles, with the champion jockey of last season, Brian Hughes, on board. And I think it will be an important day for Oliver Sherwood and the team and the owner breeders who've had such a wonderful journey for her up until this point. And as I said, this is a weak enough starting point. There isn't a huge amount for her to be beating. She just needs to show herself pretty inept at the hurdles. I'm sure she's nice and well schooled, and there's a lovely programme booked for her for mares of this quality, and it will be interesting to see how she gets on. She looked wonderful in the preliminaries. There are plenty of horses that got quite worked up and sweaty. That included the likes of Energy 2, who's had the one run over hurdles. That was at Wincanton, where she ran a decent enough third, but she'd be very easy to back in the market, and there isn't a huge amount of money for anything else. Blue Vert is having her first start in the UK for Richard Hobson, but she got a little bit worked up as Gavin Sheehan got on board. Night on the Town has had the benefit of racecourse experience, but albeit in bumpers, and she has having her first start over hurdles as well. And I wouldn't say there's a huge amount more to worry about from a Queen's Gamble perspective if she can, as I said, transfer that excellent bumper form from last season over to hurdles. hurdles. She possesses a bit of speed, I think, with that Hawk Wing being out of a Hawk Wing mare. And I think that this will be her preferred ground as well. It's good, officially good to soften places, which is the kind of growing conditions that she seemed to really relish at the back end of last year and this time last year when she won that mare's bumper at Cheltenham. So let's see how this goes for Queen's Gamble on her first start over hurdles as we head up to Stuart Machin.
Coming in quite steadily. Present short price favourite Queen's Gamble. Second from the right as they walk in, nose-banded mare, the red and white silks for defending champion jockey Brian Hughes. In they come. They're off, although none of them are in any great haste. Nobody really wants to make the running. The race has started, though you wouldn't necessarily know it at the moment. Queen's Gamble on the right wants a bit of a lead, Brian Hughes, by the looks of things, and ultimately, as they get away with a bit more momentum, Bleu Vert takes the advantage, and Doobie on the extreme left was running around and forfeited ground when they eventually jumped off, and is now keen, pulling hard at the back of the field as Bleu Vert leads them towards the first of the 8 scheduled flights. Had a good look around her going to the first, as in truth did Queen's Gamble, where they're not going particularly swiftly. It's all pretty steady stuff on the short run to the second. Bleu Vert nose-banded Queen's Gamble. Doobie beginning to pull her way through the field very sharply now in the white and blue. And she's up in the chasing line, refusing to settle, giving young Benjamin Abbott a fairly torrid time, Doobie. Energy 2 in her pink jacket is in the leading half of the field. Stargazer Bell leading the second half. Orange colours for Stargazer Bell ahead of Edith's Rock in the green and maroon. Kyla No Dancer in the dark blue and yellow, the yellow cap disputing last place early on with Knight on the Town as they make the run towards the third. Bleu Vert in the hands of Gavin Sheehan with a 3-length advantage over the free-going Doobie, now heading the pursuit clearly in advance of Energy 2 and Queen's Gamble, who's tucked away on the inside. The red and white silks for Brian Hughes. She just shifted a little to her right there, Queen's Gamble. Edith's Rock and Stargazer Bell race back in midfield. And then a small break to the final pair. At Knight on the Town on the incline is 2 or 3 lengths further back in the field. And Kyla No Dancer is racing last of all. As Bleu Vert, having reached the highest point of the track, now makes the descent for the far side. The long run between flights 3 and 4, and they're about to pass through the halfway stage. Bleu Vert leading, with Queen's Gamble now assuming the head of the chase. Stargazer Bell in an orange jacket is a little closer wide of Energy 2. Edith's Rock's also making a bit of ground. Doobie, having gone up through the field very quickly, just as quickly, has gone back the other way and is now last of all, passed by Kyla No Dancer. As Bleu Vert, with his clear advantage, heads off across the far side and on towards the 4th. 5-6 lengths ahead of Queen's Gamble, and she in turn has a similar margin over Energy 2 in the pink jacket, who will rise in 3rd place, ahead of Edith's Rock, and then Stargazer Bell. Knight on the Town with a white cap patiently ridden. Kyla No Dancer not really threatening to make any inroads, and Doobie's completely tailed off as they go towards the 4th from home. Middle one over on the far side. There'd be more than 30 lengths top to tail. And Bleu Vert has had the run of things so far. Queen's Gamble, though, is now eroding the deficit and beginning to erode it quite sharply as well. It's down to a couple of lengths, and it's only 2 lengths further back to Energy 2. And then Edith's Rock with the maroon cap in 4th. Knight on the Town still improving, has gone past Stargazer Bell. And Queen's Gamble wasn't very fluent there. She half kicked it to the ground. Quickly back on an even keel, however, in 2nd place. As Bleu Vert, with a dwindling advantage, leads them back towards home. They've less than half a mile to travel. They've got a couple to jump. Queen's Gamble now, nose-bounded mare, is ranging up alongside and is about to put her head in front. In behind, Edith's Rock, the maroon cap, Energy 2 in the pink, and Knight on the Town with the white cap. All at this stage have chances if they can get Queen's Gamble off the bridle, because she appears to be sauntering along in front as Bleu Vert now begins to weaken away. Queen's Gamble over the second last, again going right-handed. She didn't land with much momentum, and she was only a couple clear, and now Hughes has to become a little bit more serious on Queen's Gamble. Arthur Extend again as they come to the last. Leads Edith's Rock by a couple of lengths. Night on the Town takes a tumbling fall. Queen's Gamble is having to be shaken up quite firmly to make sure. Edith's Rock is hanging her chance away, however, and it will be ultimately a winning hurdling debut for the more than useful Queen's Gamble, and the defending champion is on the winner's board. Edith's Rock in second, Energy 2 in third, Stargazer Bell next home in fourth. Night on the Town and Jack Hogan are up okay.
It wasn't the most comfortable watching, I say at times, for Oliver Sherwood, but Queen's Gamble has won on her first start over hurdles, and she was pretty novice-y. She went right at a few. She was having a good look around and think about things, but her class prevailed in the end. You can see her coming right out to the right at the second to last hurdle, and she gave Edith's Rock the chance to pose a massive threat, and it was at the last hurdle that Queen's Gamble steadied into it under Brian Hughes. That's when Night on the Town took a really hard fall, but pleased to say that she got up okay with Jack Hogan, and it was on this slightly short run in that
Stone Circle goes in, waiting for Bezzers Lad and Bethersden Boy. It's very kind of you to say so, Matt, thank you. Stand by there, ready. Gates back and away they go. They're racing for the At the Races Form Study Apprentice Training Series handicap over the 5 furlongs. Bethersden Boy was a bit slowly away and then rushed up to try and get into a prominent position. Bezzers Lad often has good early pace and exhibiting it here as they go through the first furlong and a half or so. To Bethersden Boy racing in second, and Tiffon is in third, the purple jacket, followed then by the striped sleeves of 4 a Day. Then Firenze Rosa, the pale pink jacket, the pink and light blue colours of Stone Circle as they make their way across the intersection with 3 furlongs left to go. Bezzers Lad, the leader, to Antiphon towards the far side there for Mohammed Tabti racing in second. 4 a Day now just being nudged along to try and get a little bit closer. Bethersden Boy towards the near side, then Stone Circle for Renze Rosa. All the action taking place stand side. Inside the final furlong and a half they go. Antiphon just about the leader. Bezzers Lad now looks rather tired. 4 a Day is staying on for Oliver Searle. Antiphon and 4 a Day. These two deep inside the final furlong. For Renze Rosa is staying on as well. It's Antiphon by a small margin. Going on by a length or so now as the race up towards the line. Antiphon has won it for Mohammed Tabti. 4 a Day finished in second. Renze Rosa in third. Bezzers Lad finished in fourth.
Perfect Arch. This group are being followed by Stansfield, Super Like and Atlantic Wonder down the inside, further back to Doon Castle. And Chancellor Dancers ahead of Doon Castle. Slight mistake, Super Light there. Flash the lights. Warm and Gory has a few behind. Shining H is one of those. Herculaneum and Mullins Cross are others, and That's Me finishes the back marker. Into the back straight they go, about to make their way on towards flight number 5. And out in front on the I Don't Get It leads from the Miser, who's over in second, and then in third is Guest. A mistake again by Super Like at that one. So they continue across the far side now. Good run before they meet flight number 6, and it is I Don't Get It who leads from the Miser and Guest, and then Be My Hero with on the inside Lakefield Flyer with Perfect Arch and Galactico. They're being chased by Stansfield, and further back behind this one to Chancellor Dancer, who's on the inside, moving up on the outside. Flash the lights, and then Shining H with Atlantic Wonder. There's none behind Doon Castle alongside That's Me finished at the back. So racing along now along the back straight, and it's I Don't Get It who leads from Guest. On the inside is the Miser, Perfect Archer and Be My Hero keep company. Mullins crosses next with Lakefield Flyer. Galactico's in company with Stansfield, and then Super Like with Perfect Arch on the outside. Chancer Dancer is on the inside, and further back to the grey Shining H would Flash the Lights and Atlantic Wonder. And at the back of the field are both That's Me finished and Doon Castle. This is flight number 6. It is 4 from the finish, and it's not 6 furlongs from the finish as well. It's I Don't Get It from Guest, who jumped it in second. In third behind these, the Miser, Be My Hero, Perfect Arch, the red. Then on the outside behind this group is a much improved Warm and Gory, who's on the outside of Lakefield Flyer. Stansfield's between them, and trying to get through on the inside there is Lakefield Flyer as the Miser slops back a position. Galactico's one that's lost a position as well. So it's I Don't Get It from Guest and Be My Hero with Perfect Arch just outside. They're the leading group of 4. Lakefield Flyer's on the inside of Stansfield, and then Warm and Gory with Shining Edge the grey. And just inside this one is Galactico, and Herculaneum is trying to pick up with in behind these Flash the Lights, Chancer Dancer. Doon Castle picks up a few from the back, and then Mullins Cross and turns in front of That's Me finished, and Super Like has dropped right out. Top of the track, 3 to jump, and it is in front. Be My Hero is just about gone to the frontier under Denny Gilligan, being followed in second spot. Lakefield Flyer is out. Perfect Archers in the red under Shane Fenlon. Down the inside, I Don't Get It hasn't given best just yet. Stansfield's ridden, Galactico's ridden. Behind them, Chancer Dancer with Warm and Gory. Herculaneum is wide. Flash the Lights, the Miser, Doon Castle, Atlantic Wonder as they continue on down the hill towards the second last flight, and Lakefield Flyer just leans in across Be My Hero. I Don't Get It is just come alongside Lakefield Flyer now. Be My Hero is back in third. Shining H the folder heading towards the final flight, and on the near side it's Lakefield Flyer and Jack Foley. Far side is I Don't Get It, who's still holding on to this advantage for Mike O'Connor, and I Don't Get It have had plenty to come to him, but none have just quite come by him yet, and it's I Don't Get It from Lakefield Flyer, and I Don't Get It is being pushed away to win it for Neil McCluskey, and Mike O'Connor in second is Lakefield Flyer. Galactico, Chancer Dancer was next in front of Stansfield. Atlantic Wonder, Flash the Lights and Be My Heroes in that group with Perfect Arch, and then Doon Castle, Warm and Gory, That's Me finished, the Miser, and Herculaneum away from Super Like, who in turn is clear from Guest, and the final one to go by is Mullins Cross, and good to see both horse and rider up from that fall. Shining H and Conor Maxwell walking away.
Yes, I Don't Get It follows up under the £6 penalty to confirm the form of Warren Gory, who was trapped out wide throughout, a little bit keen to the end of the Downpatrick run. He's dropped away quite tamely, but it's an opening race double for, of course, winning rider Mike O'Connor. This trained, of course, locally by Neil McCluskey. That was his third win on his 51st run, but a good performance by the winner. He fought them all off. Lakefield Flyer, of course, in handicap debut. Lakefield Flyer came there with every chance, thought it was going to go and win, but to be fair, the winner has pulled up that little bit extra, and Lakefield Flyer in handicap debut for the Shark Hanlon. Hewick, of course, winning at Sandown on Saturday for the second year in succession, and just got the last wrong and got it all wrong, landed a little bit in all fours, but I'd say, to be fair, I Don't Get It probably would have won, but a good effort by Lakefield Flyer on handicap debut. First run since December time as well, hoping to a little bit more improvement. Galactica, that's run well, first time cheek piece, by far its best run. Herculaneum was disappointing, that's good to see. Shining Edge is none the worse from a horrible fall at the last. Conor Maxwell up as well, and definitely the horse to take out of it for me is Tony Martin's with a view to the future. Got absolutely no run whatsoever. Atlantic Wonder, you see him there with the noseband down the inside as well, and there's definitely races to be won with that, and got a trouble passage throughout. Ian Power couldn't get a run when wanted, but look how far he's beaten in the end under a hands and heels drive when his chance was gone. Not beaten all that far, definitely be races to be won with this individual. Warm and Gory for me was far too keen, trapped out wide, got no cover, has dropped away quite tamely, and Herculean is the last to pass the winning post as well, and he couldn't step forward, of course, from his most recent win at Nacer. Again, he was £6 higher, but a good performance by a winner. I Don't Get It. He's giving